Hi, movie recap here today. I'm going to explain a movie named An Affair 2018. Don't spoilers ahead, I'm sure you don't know about this movie. Watch out and take care. The film opens with Anita going for a morning jog before she's off to her new job at the local school, where she's taken on the role of a teacher. Being a newbie, teaching is a bit like trying to pilot a plane while it's still being constructed in midair. When Anita gets there, her students are all set to meet her, excited to share some fun facts. One student, Marcus, nervously mentions that he has a huge bottle of Coke, which leads to a round of laughter from the class and a bit of embarrassment for Anita. She quickly brushes it off and encourages the students to open up more about themselves. Anita then shares her background as a gymnast and takes them on a tour of the school later that day. Back at home, she's overjoyed to see her two stepdaughters celebrating her father's birthday and decides to join in the fun for the night. She also tries to get closer to her husband, hoping for a deeper connection. Hase, a dedicated attorney, often overlooks her romantic interests as she focuses on her career. While on her morning run, she senses someone trailing her, and upon turning around, she sees no one. As she's about to answer the door, it rings, and she discovers a beautiful arrangement and note with no clue about the sender. She's impressed by Marcus's talent in volleyball, and he compliments her back. Later, she witnesses Marcus intervening in a fight with a fellow student, stopping it with the help of teacher Anita. They become close, and Marcus attempts to make a move, but a student interrupts them. Anita texts Marcus to forget their brief encounter, acknowledging it was inappropriate. Anita later receives a distasteful message from him, but she tries to laugh it off. When she returns home, she finds white roses on her doorstep and asks Hase about them. Hase mentions that the roses were there when she got home the following day. Marcus's parents confront Anita about Marcus fighting with a classmate, and Anita explains that Marcus won't be joining the Berlin trip as a consequence. His parents are unhappy with this decision, but Anita insists it's her call. Marcus pleads with Anita, but she doesn't seem to understand, and they part ways. That evening, as Anita heads home, Marcus enters her car, and they end up having a passionate moment. At home, she becomes fixated on Marcus, feeling a deep connection with him whenever she can. They share a private moment one day at Marcus's house when his mom brings Anita into the book club. Anita daydreams about Marcus, who joins them later. He warmly welcomes everyone and heads upstairs to take a bath. Anita steps out to use the bathroom, but quietly follows him upstairs to watch him bathe. They share a private moment before she quickly leaves. The next morning, Anita goes for a run with Hase while constantly texting Marcus, who is absent from school. His classmates inform Anita that he's sick and she misses him. Even though Hase gives Anita a stunning necklace before a party, he notices Anita seems distracted. He questions her about her texts, and she feigns exhaustion, saying a colleague needed help with a student. They proceed to the party, where Hase introduces Anita to the lawyer guests. Anita feels uneasy at the dinner party and continues to text Marcus, deciding to leave early to look for him. His mom informs Anita that Marcus has gone to soccer practice. He's not on the field when Anita checks in. She eventually spots Marcus outside a shop with his buddies and hops into her car with him. Marcus confesses his love for Mina, leaving Anita heartbroken. She drives off by herself and returns to the party, where Hase appears visibly upset. Anita can't help but feel a pang of sadness as she reminisces about her time with Marcus. The next day, Anita is overcome with tears as she gets home. She asks Hase to plan a trip to Budapest, but he refuses, citing work commitments. In a moment of desperation, Anita snatches Marcus's phone while he's at dance practice and discovers photos of him with Mina, hoping to sabotage their relationship. Anita decides to post one of Mina's photos on Facebook, hoping to stir up trouble. As she puts the phone back in his pocket, she notices Mina crying nearby, suspecting that Marcus has shared an embarrassing photo of her online. Determined to comfort Mina, Anita tries to reassure her that Marcus isn't a good partner and that it's time to end their relationship. A few days later, Anita runs into Marcus's mom and decides to talk to her about the situation. Her failed effort to turn Marcus against Mina. Anita starts with her beginning to stalk him. Anita starts to feel envious whenever he's around Mina the following day, and he witnesses her on the soccer field. He tries to engage her in conversation, but she refuses to acknowledge him, insisting she has something crucial to share. She then confesses her pregnancy with his child, leaving him utterly stunned. Despite this revelation, she asks him not to feel guilty, blaming it on her actions. Distraught, Marcus finds comfort in her words, assuring her they will face this situation together. Their relationship rekindles with a newfound intensity. Later, she goes shopping for a dress at a clothing store, where a coworker spreads rumors about a student teacher's romantic involvement with her, prompting Anita to leave abruptly, fearing the spread of gossip. Upon returning to her car, she discovers it has been vandalized, leaving her both shocked and puzzled about the culprit. The next morning, a telling ultrasound report by the sink in Hase's strange looks imply he knows of the affair soon after the doorbell rings, signaling Marcus's enraged mother's warning for Anita to keep her distance from him. In response, Anita advised her not to make any more moves towards Marcus, fearing the end of their relationship. Reacting to the threat, Anita escaped to the forest, where she ended up throwing up. Upon returning, she decided to stay in a hotel for the night, seeking solitude. The following morning, Anita woke up and returned home to discover the front door unexpectedly locked, causing her confusion. This was the first time such an incident had occurred. Unable to open the door at school, the staff inquired about Anita's situation, prompting her to break down in tears. She expressed her grief over the betrayal, feeling that the relationship was never meant to be. Upon seeing Hasi, Anita rushed to him, only to be met with rejection as he left with Marcus, expressing his farewell as well. This left Anita feeling shocked and helpless. However, these events triggered a hysterical burst of laughter from her.